This video is going to look at empathy and well-being, and it questions what is the relationship between empathy and well-being. The key questions that we're going to be looking at are: what is empathy and why is it important? How does empathy affect well-being? What effects does a dysfunction in empathy have on well-being? How is empathy developed and fostered to bring the highest subjective well-being to a person? So what is empathy? Empathy is an emotion which allows one person to understand another. Empathy allows us to understand motivation and also to vicariously experience another person's emotion. Now we can ask the question, does empathy affect well-being? The majority of literature suggests that yes, empathy and well-being are, in fact, highly associated with one another. This does not imply a causal relationship, however. It merely points out that these two factors are usually present in the same person. Now we can look at how does empathy affect well-being. The first way is through mediating stress. Often people with high empathy have an effective coping strategy for when they come into contact with a highly emotional situation. It allows them to avoid personal distress. The second way is through mediating positive and negative affect. What this means is that a person can reduce negative affect or increase positive affect, which is a very valuable skill to have. Facilitating effective socialization is another function of empathy. Socialization is, of course, a basic need of all humans and contributes to a person's overall well-being. Empathy also facilitates long-term relationships, as well as therapeutic relationships. There are also several correlations between empathy and other factors which may increase well-being, such as academic success and also pro-social behavior. We'll now look at how a dysfunction in empathy can actually detract from personal well-being. There are three main disorders which are caused by dysfunction in empathy: antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and also autism spectrum disorder. To conclude, we're going to ask the question, how do we nurture empathy in perhaps children or in other people? The first answer is through early socialization, which helps a person to develop a sense of empathy. Gannon and Overway found that youth sports groups are particularly successful at developing this empathy. Also, logically explaining emotions to children can help them to understand others and then also to internalize and develop empathy. Overall, the skills gained through early socialization will serve a person throughout their life and help them to create success and meaning in their life. I hope that this video has been successful in helping to educate you about empathy and well-being. You can also look at a wiki page, which I will post below, which investigates this subject in more depth.